So I'm just going to talk with you for a few minutes. Think about this. Medicine really only manipulates the immune system. They never seek to restore it. Really, they don't even pay attention how to do that. And so everything you're seeing now is either treatment-wise, they just manipulate the immune system, and this is manipulating what you're exposed to. 6 feet apart is manipulating what you're exposed to. They don't ever seek to restore the immune system, and I'll show you how we can help do that. And they wait till your immune system's fallen apart to even test it. So they wait till your immune system is in the trash bin to even test it, other than a CBC. Now, this doesn't mean that you're serious about COVID. If you know your vitamin D, that might mean you're at least somewhat serious about COVID. Do you know your vitamin D level? How many of you do? You can text me later or chat it up or something if you know your vitamin D level. There's not that many of you do. Mine's 61. I can tell you because it's one of the most powerful things to regulate your immune response. One of the most powerful things. So you can test your immune response. Again, medicine doesn't do it until you got cancer or until you got HIV, and I'm serious. So you can test these cells, and hopefully you can see this on here correctly. Natural killer cells, those are your first line of defense with viral infections. The first line of defense. The other thing that they do is tumor surveillance. They knock out tumor cells before they get going. I want good natural killer cells, so I just had my immune system tested, but I'm a little on the lower side of it, so I'm doing some things to improve that, because I don't want cancer in 5 or 10 years, because my natural killer cells were low and I couldn't knock out a tumor. The next thing is in our adaptive immune system is our T cells. And we have 2 branches of that, helper cells and suppressor cells, and that gets into technical things. But these react pretty quickly, not as quickly as the natural killer cells, but still pretty quickly. And they also fight viruses, especially in the once they've gotten into the cell. And then we have B cells. Those are what make antibodies. And then we have our complete blood count that we check. Now, you can get really, really surprised on an immune panel. I'm going to show you one here. Let's see if I figure out how well, let me just share and then figure it out. Okay, can you see this immune panel? Shake your head, no?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I see it.
All right, so this is a T and B cell natural killer profile. So this is what you want to test if you're really serious about your immune system. You can't do it through insurance unless you got cancer or you got HIV. So we do it through a lab co-op. It costs about 150 bucks. But the first thing we see here is our B cells, and that those make antibodies. And so we tested a 20-year-old just recently, and her immune system's really, really down. She has if you can see the screen again, she has a really altered ratio between these helper and suppressor cells. This ratio is less than 1. It should be around closer to 2. And it means her immune system is really weak. Her immune system is really vulnerable. COVID could knock her on her butt. And you don't want to be knocked on your butt by COVID. And so that's a pretty significant thing. And so we have her on a program to build her immune system. We help people have a better immune system. So we had a lady that for her entire adult life had a low white blood cell count. Her entire adult life. They called it, and she had a low red cell count too. They called it pancytopenia, meaning they gave her a big name and they said, this is your immune system. It's just normal for you. Medicine had 25 years as an adult to fix it, and we fixed it in 6 weeks. How do we fix it in 6 weeks and get her into the normal range on her white blood cell count? One, we released trauma from her brain. She had childhood sexual trauma. That is shown in the literature to dysregulate the immune system. It does it every time. I see it all the time. We did QNRT with her, quantum neural reset therapy. We released that trauma from her. And then we put her on an immune building product that has immune support for the bone marrow, which is where your white blood cells are made. It has immune support for your spleen, which is where the lymphocytes that make antibodies mature. And then it has immune support for your thymus, which is where those T cells we were talking about, where they mature. And then it has zinc and vitamin A and a bunch of other nutrients. 6 weeks, her doctor had to run some labs for something else. And for the first time in her adult life, she had a normal white blood cell count. The first time in her life. Medicine had 25 years to fix it, couldn't do it. We did it in 6 weeks. They didn't even try, frankly. So we do some amazing things with the immune system because we look at it differently, and we're looking at it how to restore it, how to have it healthy, how to get a person back to normal. And we do some amazing things with autoimmune cases too. And this was an autoimmune case also that we dealt with there. And we just ran a really advanced testing, got it back on a lady that to figure out what's going on for her. And she has an immune attack on the intrinsic factor in her stomach that helps to absorb B12. So that's really why she's having a lot of her symptoms and a lot of her issues. So if you, and I'm not sure where I'm at time-wise, I meant to start my timer, but if you have, if you know somebody that, 1 minute, okay. If you know somebody that wants to know how their immune system, how strong it is, or they already know they catch a lot of stuff easily, then send them to us. We can actually test their immune system. We don't have to go by stupid insurance rules. We can actually test their immune system. We can find out how strong it is, and we can get them on a program to improve it so that they can be healthier and they can function better and they can live longer and it can change their life. And that's what I do. I do it all the time. And so we have a different perspective. So when you find out somebody that wants to have a different perspective on their health, send them here, Winners Wellness, Chiropractic Redefined.